Good morning. It is Friend or Foe Friday, and we have gotten foe. Flipped my two-face coin to get that. So okay, we're gonna do a quick villain. And the other day I was thinking about Doctor Evil and just how he's hilarious as like a caricature. So we're gonna take from other people, but then I was thinking the villains a lot of times need names that are like Alistair. I really like that one. And just Alistair Smythe, that from Spider-Man, things like that. Or you could just do the Frozen thing and call him Sven. Sven Stevenson. We can go with that. Just make it fun. And so, but like, okay, he will look like Dr. Evil. You have to consider the appearance. So pale, maybe a suit that also looks pale. Maybe not spot on. Maybe he's actually wearing a suit. And he could look like Mike Myers, I guess, but no, maybe more gaunt. So that's like his appearance: gray suit, white shirt, maybe a black tie. Maybe, yeah, black tie. And then, so he looks thin, um, pale, bald. Do we want to keep it like a caricature of a caricature, or like keep the scar? Because that could also look like Lex Luthor, I guess. Maybe the black tie is the character. That's like why guys do that. They always wear a suit, and then that way, I don't know if you guys knew of that. Like that's why someone can say, "Hey, look, oh, nice tie." It gives them something to focus on. Women generally will like absorb everything. They'll just one glance and nice shoes, and it's a lot of times it's shoes. Anyway, so there's the appearance and mannerism. See, a lot of times you don't have to necessarily do like accents to get somebody memorable, but you can do speech patterns. Like I was also thinking about Kripke from Big Bang Theory, and you don't have to do an accent. You can do a speech impediment. I know because I've had to like remove a speech impediment of my own. I used to say constantly, and working at a call center that got removed. I was able to remove that. So I just kind of told myself that I would rather there be dead air than me saying constantly like I used to. Or sometimes it still happens when I get tired or flustered. So you could have them talk like Kripke, where from Big Bang Theory, where all of his R's are W's, and it's also a character defining thing because as soon as he meets Penny, he's like, "Well, I don't like that. That doesn't work for me. I'm gonna call you Waxan," which is hilarious. I'm like, it's like, do you know that your speech impediment says things like you're picking a name that highlights that, and also who does that? You don't tell somebody that I'm just going to call you a different name. Like you're telling them that you're a jerk right away. And it's like, and he's just doing it, and he's not doing like, I can't remember your name. You're not important enough to remember my name. I'm like, I'm going to verbally say out loud that I'm not going to call you by your name. Jerk move. But also, you know exactly where they stand. You know, you could have, what are some good mannerisms? You could have a straight up tick, or you could have a just I don't know, some face touching thing, or maybe maybe he should have a beard and he just constantly self soothes by stroking his beard or thinking, it's a fun little habit. So okay, he's got a beard, so that differentiates himself a little bit from. So he might be bald on top, like this, or well shorter, but like yeah, maybe he has a beard and a suit, and yeah, but you could just have him talk like that and have his O's turn to W's. And O's are kind of like a Boston aw, getting a core. But O's, I don't know if that's where it came from, but like, yeah. And then sometimes it's like a speech impediment, but it's like from different Asian things. A lot of times the R's become that. I knew a guy in the call center that he would have to regularly say rip and rebuild in the router, and it turned into whip and rebuild into Wowda, and it was difficult not to laugh. That was how he talked. So anyway, you could do that. So suit and then like and what are his goals? Could it be just straight up money? Could it be um, things like that? Like basically, I don't want to give you the whole character, but just have that character, and it could be yeah, probably just head of his department, maybe. Maybe he's a minor villain, or you could give him, random task slash odd job. Maybe not with the hat or the shoe, but I don't know. And and with that, you can also do like the minion. He can be a one note character. He's just the drone. He's just the muscle, you know. And then you can have his voice be slightly lower, and he just speaks simply. Doesn't say much. Just talk from the back of your throat. Yes, sir. It will be done. One note character. He's the head minion, something like that. Um, and he could just be completely unassuming, black suit, whatever. Well, that's almost two characters. So anyway, but it's a lot easier than you'd think, and just mashing them together can be a great way to make an NPC. So go ahead and use that, and it's a lot easier than you'd think. But also just pull from different media, who you like and who you think you could do. But you don't have to do full accents. Just remember that when you say to Oz, they sound different, and then you start to, and I mean, if you walk, I don't know, I'm able to pick them up when I listen to them a lot. So if you watch a lot of them, it's you try to repeat it. That reminds me of a story I'll probably have to say next week about accents. So anyway, that one already ran longer than I wanted to, so go ahead and use that one. Don't look for a fair fight.